finally that time of the season. Half the drivers are out of contract. Half of the drivers are stuck in a team where, let's be real, they don't even deserve to be there. I mean, what is Lance Stroll doing? Perez?
Oh no!
Sargent? Now, I'm not sure about those drivers, but that's not to say that there aren't good drivers who are with good teams who are doing good things. I mean, there's obviously the boring answer of Max Verstappen. So in my opinion, these are the best drivers for every single team. Now, these aren't predictions of what's going to happen throughout the year and next year, silly season, this, that. No. This is just what I think is the best for each team. Now, I'm no genius, I'm no fortune teller, I don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, leave your thoughts in the comments. We're going to start off with the boys in red. Not blue, red. Now, contrary to popular belief, I don't think that Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc is a match made in heaven. I think it's a match made for disaster. On one hand, you have Charles Leclerc, who wants to prove himself. He wants to be like, I'm the lead driver. I'm better than Sir Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion. And at the same time, Lewis Hamilton is like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm about to slap him left and right like it's nobody's business. I'm about to win my 8th championship like it's just free. Max Verstappen, who? Charles Leclerc, who? Honestly, I think it's going to be chaos, similar to the 2007 season, but maybe not as extreme. They both want to win a championship more than ever. I don't think that's the best choice of drive. In my opinion, the best driver pairing for Ferrari at the moment would have still been Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. Carlos Sainz an odd 2/10 of Charles Leclerc on an average basis. He can pick up the points when Charles Leclerc is in the wall, and that happens a lot. And honestly, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, they can work together well. There's a slight pace gap, which honestly, that's what you need in teammates. A little one, and not like a whole second gap like you have with Verstappen and Perez. Carlos Sainz was honestly a perfect second driver. If they were to ever be in a championship fight, he'd be there helping Charles Leclerc, most likely. Because faith in Carlos Sainz winning a championship, I'm not sure about that one. It's getting a little boring hearing that anthem, isn't it? But that's not to say that Max Verstappen isn't the perfect driver for Red Bull, because he is.
Subscribe and like if you want an intense championship battle this year. You don't want to see Max Verstappen win every single race. You don't want to see... You just want to see something sick. Subscribe and like if you want to see that now.
It's like the car has been molded around him. It's like he is at one with the car pretty much every single weekend, week in, week out, winning every single race there is to win.
Max Verstappen wins for Max Verstappen, Max Verstappen, Max Verstappen, Max Verstappen, Max Verstappen, Max Verstappen, Max Verstappen.
It's honestly getting very, very boring. But to say that Red Bull could replace Max Verstappen and get a driver equally as good as him or even better, no, they can't. Verstappen is the most perfect driver for Red Bull probably ever. He's glued to the track, he doesn't bin it, he doesn't spin, he just goes and goes and goes until he sees the checkered flag first and wins. Now that's one side of the garage, but remember there's still the other side, which is currently occupied by Sergio Perez. And Sergio Perez, Right now, it's clear and obvious that McLaren, Ferrari, they're getting closer to Red Bull. Even in Monaco right now, they might even be faster. Who knows? We might be able to see a Charles Leclerc Monaco win. Wouldn't that be lovely after all of the pain that has been caused in Monaco for him? More than ever right now, Red Bull needs 2 drivers who can score good points. But if Max Verstappen's winning a race and Sergio Perez is finishing P8 every single race, that's 1 good driver and 1 absolutely shite driver. Keep in mind, you have the fastest car on the grid. How is that possible? Every year, it seems like he starts off the season strong. Good podiums, and then it just dwindles down and, well, he's trash from then onwards. In Imola, he went back to his humble abode, the gravel, and there's no doubt about it that he will keep on finding the gravel. Anyway, with that out of the way, I think that Yuki Tsunoda is probably the perfect driver for Red Bull at the moment. There was so much hype about Daniel Ricciardo being back. Oh my god, he's so good. And then Yuki Tsunoda puts him in his place. Digs him a grave, not 6 feet deep, only 2 because he doesn't have time, because he's too busy scoring points. And now Yuki Tsunoda has proven himself to the world. Daniel Ricciardo, who actually is he? Surely now he deserves a seat in that Red Bull. And Perez can finally disappear because he's been a burden of that team for a long, long time. Am I saying that Yuki Tsunoda will be challenging Max Verstappen for the title? Probably not, but he'll be better than Sergio Perez, and he'll be able to scrap up and good points everywhere and actually help in the championship. actually help in the constructors and actually do something and not just be a nuisance doing nothing. Seems like after a couple years of searching, a couple years of disaster, a race weekend of glory, and a ton more race weekends of pain, McLaren have finally found their perfect two drivers. Lando Norris, who can lead the charge, win races as he's currently proving, and could even battle for the championship, and Oscar Piastri, who is probably as good as Lando Norris at the moment, but getting a tiny bit unlucky. McLaren should consider themselves very lucky. Championships, after championships, after championships, after even more championships. I think Lewis Hamilton doesn't want to be in that team anymore.
This car is not drivable.
Because Toto Wolff has been over-promising, George, Lewis, this year, our car will be great. That was absolutely horrific. And well, clearly they've been very much under-delivering. I don't think Lewis Hamilton wants to be in that team anymore, and I currently don't think he's the perfect fit for the team. He wants something else. He wants to win championships. Mercedes wants to finish P4 in the constructors every single year. Now, jokes aside, Mercedes in their current struggles, yeah, George Russell is probably going to stay there. He's the perfect driver in that team. He can be a bit crash prone when he's about to win a race or nearly win a race, but at the moment when Lewis Hamilton leaves, he's going to be a good, solid first driver to win a championship if they even get the chance to. And in their current struggles, surely it would be a good idea to bring up a driver from a junior category, a driver who isn't on the grid at the moment. Bring them up, be like, you're a good fit, aren't you? We can coach you up for a year. We can afford it. 2025 is around the corner. Let's be real, Mercedes are also going to be shit. They're just waiting for the 2026 regulations. But who could that be? Mick Schumacher? No. I believe that Kimi Antonelli is the second driver that Mercedes are looking for. They can coach him up. In 2025, he can learn the basics, see what's up, and then in 2026, just like Oscar Piastri now is absolutely balling, no doubt about it that Kimi Antonelli will also be doing the exact same thing. There'll obviously be a clear 1-2 at the start. George Russell obviously leading the charge of Mercedes actually have a good car, and they don't tumble down the field like Alpine did this year. And Kimi Antonelli being there to score some good points, not really cause an issue in the team. At the moment, it's probably Mercedes' best option, best choice for drivers. Not sure who else they would... Mick Schumacher, but I'm not sure if that would be a good idea. No one is on track record. Close your eyes, now. Did you hear that? That sounded a lot different to this. Now, am I saying that Lance Stroll is Aston Martin's biggest anchor? Yes, he is a heavy little motherfucker. He doesn't deserve to be in that team that actually could be great, because in the time where Alonso was scoring good podiums, Lance Stroll was dilly-dallying with Logan Sargent at the back of the field. He is no way near the perfect driver for Aston Martin, but you know who is? Probably Carlos Sainz. You see, with Alonso and Stroll, the gap is too big. It's like Perez and Verstappen, too big of a gap. But say we stick in the two Spaniards into the car, there's a clear 1-2, a slight pace gap difference, but still, Sainz will be able to pick up points where Lance Stroll can't. Honestly, it would still be a match made in heaven. Carlos Sainz still gets an absolute good car and not an absolute trash can like a Williams. He can still show everyone his performances, and if Aston Martin ever get the chance to be in a title battle in the next couple years, Alonso will be gunning for it and Carlos Sainz will help out. But there's 100% of me that thinks that 0% of Lance Stroll will be able to help out in the exact same situation. I think their chemistry would be insane. I think they would both be very, very happy in that team. And I think they would do miracles, wonders. Because right now, in my mind, it seems like Alonso is in a pretty poor team. Lance Stroll just gave that whole reputation of a bad team. But it would be quite different when Carlos Sainz, or if Carlos Sainz would ever be. Now, over the years, it seems like I've discredited Perez as a driver. He isn't good at all. He isn't talented at all. Well, let's be real. He's a multiple-time race winner. P20 to P1, that's quite insane. But I will forever stand by it. He's not the correct fit for the main Red Bull team. But you know what he might be good for? The RB team. Perez right now might be struggling. Max Verstappen is, and he feels the pressure. Pressure might not be good for him. But stick him in that RB team, less pressure. He's the leader driver now. He can show everyone what he's actually made of. And quite obviously get Daniel Ricciardo out there because he's been an absolute disappointment this year. In my eyes, I think Liam Lawson finally deserves his chance in Formula 1 for like an actual race seat. In the times where he was in that RB, what was it called? AlphaTauri, he was absolutely stellar. So tell me, why doesn't he deserve a race seat now? With Daniel Ricciardo being, well, doing whatever he's doing now, surely it wouldn't be that big of a difference to swap Liam Lawson in, see how he's doing. Compare Liam Lawson to Perez, see who's better, see who's doing worse. And then finally, we can get the conclusion whether Sergio Perez is actually a washed-up, retiring driver, or whether he was just Max Verstappen is just Max Verstappen. Perez and Lawson, probably the most perfect combination there is there at the moment, in my opinion. I think we've all heard of the team Haas, and I think we all know that they've never had a good driver pairing now, have they? Crashes upon more crashes upon more bad result. That's been the team motto forever. But I think that Daniel Ricciardo and Oliver Behrman would be able to change that. Now, we all know that Haas isn't too fond of rookies after their whole 2021 shenanigans, but Oliver Behrman, I think, is a bit different. I think he's a lot more better than Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. I mean, after all, he's already proven himself in that Ferrari, and he did a goddamn good job. Now, of course, 2 rookies would be an absolute disaster class, so Daniel Ricciardo probably is another good option. Multiple-time race winner, he knows what's up in Formula 1. At least he did, but he still might have it. In a team where there's literally zero pressure on him, I think he'd do absolutely fine. He'd be able to score points, teach Oliver Behrman the ropes of Formula 1, coach him here and there. And you know what? I think in a year's time, if they get a year on that seat, I think they'll be absolutely phenomenal together. I think that not having Daniel Ricciardo on the grid is an absolute crime in itself, so I do think he deserves a seat. And Haas, well, I think that's his only options at the moment, knowing whatever he's doing right now. Kevin Magnussen isn't doing a good job. He's terrorizing the field with his dive bombs. Hulkenberg, he doesn't want to be there anymore. Daniel Ricciardo and Oliver Behrman, they want to either be in Formula 1 or still be in Formula 1. And I think that Haas is really their only options at the moment. Unless Daniel Ricciardo picks up his performance, scores a couple podiums, it's not looking good for him, is it? Haas obviously being linked with Ferrari, Haas, Oliver Behrman, Ferrari, Haas, you know what I mean? It all makes sense, doesn't it? But say Daniel Ricciardo does pick up his performance. More teams might want him, more teams might have his eye on him, more teams will want to see him win. I think that Sauber might be a good shout. Now with them being bought out by Audi, I think that is Daniel Ricciardo's current only way to get back into a top team. That is even me predicting that Audi is going to be a top team. Sauber has already bagged Nico Hulkenberg, and I think that's a decently good choice. Hulkenberg has been absolutely fantastic for like the last 2 years at Haas, so surely he deserves a better seat. Listen, I'm just gambling on Sauber being an absolutely good team and not being as bad as Haas. Daniel Ricciardo might want to be there. That might be his only shot to get into another top team, because he's not getting into that Red Bull because Yuki Tsunoda is outperforming him. Ferrari, they have 2 drivers on lockdown. Aston Martin, no. And he has literally 0 ties with Mercedes. There's no way he's going back into McLaren because we all know what happened at McLaren, don't we? His winning ways might be over, or Sauber might be able to bring that back. Williams in 2021. Oh dear. Williams in 2022? Oh dear. Williams in 2023? Oh dear.
In practice, and it's happened again.
Seems like for the last couple years, Williams have had drivers who just put it into the wall every single race weekend. What Williams needs right now is 2 experienced drivers who know what they're doing in a Formula 1 car, and not stupid little rookies who just crash out every single race weekend. Logan Sargent was meant to be an upgrade from Nicholas Latifi. Was it though? No, probably not. Alex Albon is secured in that team. Alex Albon is absolutely great. We all know that Williams want him forever, and most other teams also want him, but no. He's sticking to that Williams master plan. I don't blame him because Williams is sick. But that leaves us with one other seat. Who can occupy that seat? Carlos who? Yeah, I think that Carlos Sainz is probably Williams' best choice. He doesn't crash, he doesn't bin it, he knows how to win races, he knows how to score podiums. In my mind, he is Williams' perfect driver on paper. He can score good points, he can help develop the car, help them move forward. I don't think that Logan Sargent is helping Williams move forward in any sort of way possible. I actually think he's hindering them. He's the anchor of the team, holding them down. The money they can be spending on upgrading the car, developing, they're spending on repairing the car after his many crashes. And in my mind, with Alex Albon steering the ship with the James Vowles, I think they'll be at the top in the next 5 or so years. And Carlos Sainz, if he sticks to that program just like Alex Albon is, who knows, he might be back at the top. Because currently, there's no other team that could probably offer him that. Sauber have pretty much already said no to him, and there's really nobody else. And last but not least, Alpine's probably best driver choices would be Fernando Alonso and Oscar Piastri. But it seems like Fernando Alonso is happy he's not in that team, and we all know how that fiasco of Piastri and Alpine ended. But hey, there's pretty much no driver that would want to join that team because they are struggling. They are comfortably last pretty much every single race, struggling to get out of Q1. Yeah.
Gasly and anyone but Ocon.
Anyways, in the comments, let me know, do you guys agree or do you think there's other perfect drivers for other teams? Now, yes, you could say that putting Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso in every single team would be the perfect options for each team, but let's be realistic. Anyways, have a safe and fantastic rest of your day. Don't die, please, because then you can't watch the videos. Don't fall under a car, because then you would die. And poo.
That's all, folks.